Hi, California Indivisibles. It's Leah. I'm here to talk about primaries. I understand y'all are thinking about how primaries fit into your strategies, into local group strategies. And I thought I would just take a second to share a little bit about, the premises, the thinking behind it, why we think this is an important lever for changing the Democratic Party. So let me just start with that. The Democratic Party has got a lot of folks in it. Some of them are fighters, they are phenomenal, they are our champions and allies. A lot of them are not there. And frankly, we have spent an enormous amount of energy that would have been better spent fighting fascism over the last year and a half trying to get them there. Everything from trying to get people on board with the opposing the Laken-Riley Act back in January last year when we were all calling and saying, what are you doing? Why are you giving the Trump administration more power to go after our immigrant neighbors? To stuff like fighting off a crypto bill that a bunch of Democrats ultimately signed on to support, even as Donald Trump maxes out crypto corruption on a completely unheard of level, to some of the sluggish responses that we have seen on stuff like cutting funding for ICE and opposing the war. Collectively, what we understand is that the Democratic Party's got some folks who, no offense to them, are not up to the moment. And we got choices on how we engage with that. We either try to work with them or we try to get in the kinds of people who are going to wake up every morning saying, this is an emergency, this is our democracy at risk. How do I max out every lever that I have to fight back, to protect people, to get something better that ultimately causes people to really believe in democracy, to really believe in this country in a way where we can beat back fascism for good. And so when we launched our primary program, what we were focusing on is not everything. We're not looking for perfect on every front, but we want to make sure that collectively we are doing the work to push the Democratic Party in a direction where we don't have to hold their feet to the fire on every single thing forever, because they're with us, because they're our champions and our allies, and they're doing it because they believe the same things. That is what a successful primary can achieve. If we want to have the kind of representation that we can believe in, it doesn't happen on its own. It happens because people ultimately decide that I'm going to put in the capital, I'm going to knock the doors, I'm going to raise the money, I'm going to make the endorsements to actually push the party in that direction. And so as you embark on this, I don't want to suggest that any of this comes without conflict. I don't want to suggest that it's easy, and I don't want to suggest that there's always a clear right answer. But I think it's incredibly important that we have the conversations about how we use this incredibly crucial strategic lever to change the Democratic Party, and in doing so, to ultimately change the future of the pro-democracy movement and the prospects that we successfully defeat the fascists. So we're with you. We're supportive all the way. I hope your conversations are productive, and let us know how we can support.